Welcome back, guys, to another Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra video. Today we're going to be going over for the best settings in the game, which is a comment that we've gotten a lot. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so off the bat, we are going to be talking about we're just going to go through each tab and talk about what I run and why. For English, we have text. For voice, we are going to run Japanese. Let's go ahead and do that. So we go ahead and change it here. Alright, we're back on the screen here, and for vibration settings, I would set it to off. If you don't like vibration, it usually messes you up, so you shouldn't run vibration settings as on if you're playing on a controller. Moving on to the privacy requests, I do run just normal requests. I don't really care who sends me requests. I don't care for notifications, and we allow party invites. We show online status because I don't know why you would. We don't care about streaming mode, anonymous mode, or stream matching delay. It really just does not matter that much to me. So we just leave all that stuff off. This is tab definitely more so for streamers than a general player, so you don't really need to worry about this if you're just playing generally. Audio, I have everything set to max except for master. I just set it to 20 because the game at max volume is pretty loud. So that is why we have it set to that. For video settings, I play on a borderless set to 1920 1080, 50% brightness. I do turn screen shake off. Some people put this on. I don't think you need this on at all. I have emphasis outlines off. Or emphasis outlines on because you want to be able to see certain characters more clearly. I don't need enhanced color clarity, but if you do, you should go ahead and turn that on. And I just run the default palette for the colors because that's just what I've gotten used to from the network and beta tests. So I haven't bothered changing that in live test. Moving on to graphics, we do have grid display on to make it easier to judge the AoE of skills. So we do use that sometimes. We have set to a max frame rate, which is 240. I do turn VSync off. I find that to be useless. We have data quality set to highest, graphics quality also set to custom right now because we have certain things turned off. Shadows we have set to highest, anti-aliasing we have off, motion blur we have off. These are two things that are by on default, but you should turn them off. I don't think they're useful at all, and I find motion blur especially to be very annoying. For the anisotropic filtering, we just have it set to the highest. For volumetric fog, we have it on. Bloom, we have it set to high. Screen space, reflections, and SSGI are both pretty useless settings. You can just turn these off, but we have it turned on just because it does not really matter whether you have these on or off. Moving on to battle, I do have damage and healing amount turned on, but I don't think you need to have this on. I would turn this off because you usually will look at the health bars more than anything. You don't look at the actual numbers, so you don't really need this because you usually go by health bars. EXP obtained having on is good to know because then you know if you secured something or if they secured something when it comes to EXP. Battle tips I have off. You should keep that off, and same thing with battle guide. You don't need either of that. The only thing I'd have on here is EXP obtained. Controller settings we are not going to go over because I do not play on controller, but if you guys want me to find somebody that is good on controller, I can do that. And we can go ahead and have them talk about their controller settings. So if you want that, let me know in the comment section below. Now, moving on to what I think is what everybody's here for, and that is going to be the mouse and keyboard settings. I play for the default control speed, camera speed, and keyboard camera speed. I have it set all to default. The only thing is I do play on 800 DPI. So if you have mouse DPI, you can change it to match me. I'm at 800 DPI with default settings here. For activate skill and helper on HUD, I have it turned on. For directional vanishing step, I do have it turned on. This will make it to where you vanish wherever your mouse cursor is, which is how I like to utilize my vanish. Double input vanishing I have off because I don't accidentally want to trigger that. And the minimap camera movement I also have off. That way I don't accidentally click on the minimap in the middle of a fight and it just kind of starts spazzing my screen out. That's happened a few times and it's just annoying, so I have that turned off. Now for rush attack settings, which is probably the most important setting in the game, I have lock to target turned off because I don't like locking onto targets at all. I like just prioritizing whoever's closest to my cursor. Prioritize all except enemy NPC is turned on, and rush attack hold is also turned on. The reason I have it set to close to cursor is because I'm very good at aiming where my cursor is, and it goes where I want it to. But if you're somebody who struggles to secure kills, I would recommend setting it to lowest total HP. That will help you secure more kills. As far as the screen layout goes, we have everything set to default. Nothing has really been messed with on the screen, so everything is just default on there. And then I think the big thing that's different from me compared to other players is I put skill 2 and skill 3 on Q and E because of my league muscle memory. So I have them set to Q and E instead of the typical numbers that they usually set them to. And that's pretty much like the main setting that I've changed in my skill department. And then the other thing is I had change between quick cast and AoE cast off because I just know where my skills are going to be, so I don't need this. And this one will make your skills sometimes take a little longer to come out. And then I have this on so that when I'm holding down rush attack and I press a skill, it'll prioritize the skill and not just ignore the skill if you're holding rush attack. If you have this off and you're holding rush attack, until you let go of rush attack, your skill will not come out. Everything else in this section is default. The only other thing that I change is for communication. I put quick chat on my mouse button, but that's it. That's really it. And then we can put stamps on mouse button 5. That is my current settings for Gekishin Squadra, which I do believe are the best settings in the game. The only thing I'd say is debatable is whether you want to put skill 2 or 3 on different mouse buttons. You can do that. It's not that big of a deal. But everything else here, I feel like you should run as it is. And then for graphics and video, obviously run what's best for your computer. But with that being said, this is Kaizer, signing out.